Hello and welcome to Take This TV, the television book club podcast where each week we talk about an episode or two of our favorite shows with our friends of the fandom. Hi, I'm Carmen and I'm joined as always by the amazing Kimberly Woods. Hello.
Hi, hot potatoes.
This season we are watching Dark Matter.
And today we're on episode 1 called Are You Happy With Your Life? The Apple description for the show is physics professor and family man Jason Dessen is abducted from everything he loves.
Snatched up.
I have not read this book.
Oh,
have you read the series?
No, I haven't read the book either.
Okay, so we're new to the series, we're new to this world. I thought it was a fun start.
Oh my gosh. This first episode, I am hooked. I want to know what happens next. And we were like theorizing about it, and we went back and watched some moments and went frame by frame on some scenes just because we're so invested in this mystery already.
Yeah, and at first we're like, okay, there's this, we find out the big reveal at the end that there's two Jasons, Evil Jason is from a world where he knows all of the alternate timelines and has chosen this Jason and has been studying him. But at first, we weren't sure because we thought Family Guy Jason had a dark secret and was going to this, storage unit with this file. But we went back and we saw that, no, it's the evil Jason from the other timeline.
He has no wedding ring, and the notebook he's taking notes in has the logo of the company that he... Spoilers, by the way. If you haven't watched the episode, it's too late now, but spoilers. So, the notebook he's taking notes on, it has the logo of the company from the other timeline.
And I do have to say, I'm so glad they didn't draw out this mystery of, who was the masked man? Because... it's a smart show. It's written well. We're already guessing as the audience, I feel like, pretty close to when this guy comes in. And as soon as he was he knew Jason's name, number one. And then he was guessing his phone password and was like, let me guess, your father's date of birth backwards? And then enters it. So I was like, wait a second. Is this a time traveler Jason from another, universe coming in?
Yeah.
And then by the time he's knocking him out and asks him if he's happy with his life, he says he's doing it for him. He's doing it for us. So, yeah.
I mean, especially after we watched Constellation, we were so ready for this, and we're theorizing from the get-go of what kind of show is this? I mean, when we saw the storage room and we saw the money and the burner phones at first, we thought that Jason was some kind of spy. But like you said, I'm happy that they kind of got to the point. I am curious though, why would evil Jason, TM, decide to leave his other life behind? What's happening there that he wanted to escape?
Yeah. And we know from the show that evil Jason has reached all the success. In his timeline, he won the Grand Pavia Science Award that, in the universe with Jennifer Connelly, he lost to his buddy Ryan. So he's achieved all of the success, but he's not married. He's with Amanda, who was his girlfriend. So I'm assuming, that guy is not that happy. But I don't know. I want to know more about him. And I also want to know more about the guy we start out with. Because it seems to me that he has this perfect life, but we don't spend enough time with him to figure out if that's really true. There's a little hint sometimes, that made me question, when Daniela was with her friend and they were talking about the triathlon, and her friend was like, why are you spending so much time away from your family? Do you not like them?
There's easier ways to escape your family. Yeah.
But Daniela didn't really laugh. And so I thought that was interesting because that was a time when she was away from her family. And it made me question if there's something deeper there that we don't know about our initial Jason.
It does seem like they have a pretty healthy romance. And they were being intimate with each other. And so it's maybe there's other stuff going on. Maybe they're just getting the 7-year itch. Maybe they're not as happy in their marriage as they could be. So it'll be interesting to find out more about their relationship.
Yeah. And then evil Jason seems to have had a relationship with Daniela at some point. We know that he's spying on our Jason, and so he's watching him and wanting that life. But he seems to have information from multiple timelines because he guesses that this neurotech place is probably in, San Francisco.
I loved when he was talking to her because it felt like somebody who looked up a romance guide and was playing an RPG and like just trying to pick all the right dialogue options to get a romance scene. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, she didn't pick up on it though. And so now he's essentially assumed good Jason, clean Jason's life. And so I'm curious if anybody is going to notice that he's acting differently.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. He did a pretty good job studying because in that notebook he had like a layout of the apartment and like where different things were. So
creepy. Yeah. Super creepy.
But can I also say that I love that they dedicated some time for Jason, who gets displaced in the other universe, to like freak out several times and be like, this is wrong, and like run away a couple times. I love that.
Yeah. As soon as he got the chance, he was out of there. Is it stalking if you stalk yourself? I feel like it's still stalking, right?
I feel like it's still stalking.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about the show. I'm really liking it so far. I was at first a little hesitant because, like we said, the theme feels really similar to some of the other shows we watched. And I was like, oh man, here we go with Schrodinger's cat again. But I think that like this show immediately has its own identity and feels fresh and new. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too. And I like that they're not drawing out those mysteries too much. Like we start with Schrodinger's cat and they're just like, this is what this is. So we know as an audience what to expect. And also from the posters, I feel like it gives it away a little bit too.
Yeah.
For the series, where there's like multiple versions of Jason and Daniela on some of the posters. And even now, like we did a poster for the show, and I was like, why is she looking at him like that? And now I know, because she's like, is this my Jason?
Suspicious. Suspicious activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy who, his friend who invited him to the bar.
Ryan.
Mm-hmm. When good Jason mentioned Ryan during the like interview process after they thought he returned, everybody kind of had a reaction. And so I was like, what is up with Ryan in this world? So maybe like, since Jason won the prize in this other world, maybe Ryan wasn't as gracious of a loser and something happened. So I'm curious. Yeah. Or maybe Jason stole Ryan's research in this world. So I don't know.
And also, where is Daniela in this world? Like, was he with a Daniela at some point and she passed away? And that's how he kind of has some sort of relationship? Or is that some sort of connection from a different timeline he's hopped into? We learn that he's been away and like doing this experiment for 14 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to learn more about that. And also, there's other scientists with him that were trying to travel but haven't come back. He's the only one, even though it's not his version.
That's a good point. And so do you think that they're going to be like sleeper agents in the other world? I don't know. I'm so curious.
I'm so excited to find out. And I like the pace that it's moving. Well, thank you all for joining us. This is at Take This TV. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review. Tell us what you thought about this first episode. And remember, it's dangerous to watch TV alone.